U.S. envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are heading back from Russia without any agreement after a 5-hour sit-down on the war in Ukraine with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Let's bring in Fox News senior strategic analyst General Jack Keane now. He's also the chairman of the Institute for the Study of War. General, welcome to you. Glad to have you here today. What do you see as the major roadblocks they're running into here to achieving peace?
Well, I think the process itself, certainly what it's been able to do with the meeting in Geneva with the Ukrainians, the Americans, and the Europeans, and then the meeting in Florida with the Americans and Ukrainians, and now with Russia, is clearly to identify Ukrainian red lines and what concessions they likely can be made, and also the same thing with the Russians. They got feedback for sure on that. So I think what remaining issues are clearly identified. And then is there some negotiation space to be able to bring them together? That's the answer we don't know yet. But as this unfolds, we're going to get those answers. And let's just assume that the Ukrainians are willing to make some concessions, and concessions over territory, for example. That means they're going to need some kind of security guarantees going forward. And so the people understand that what we're trying to say is the Ukrainians, if they're going to make a deal with the Russians, because the Russians have always said, and believe me, I don't think for a minute, regardless of what deal the Russians make, they change this. Their intent is to take Ukraine and topple it. Maybe not in the near term if they make a deal, but eventually they will do that, likely post-Trump administration. So if that's the case, and everybody believes that, and I believe it, I think the Ukrainians believe it, I think the United States believes it, then you have to put something in place to prevent that from happening, and it has to be enduring over time. And what are we talking about? We're talking about U.S. and European air power. If there's a violation, they would strike. We're talking about forces on the ground on the Ukrainian side of the line to make certain if there's any penetration there, those forces are there, one, to deter it, but two, to stop it, if necessary, supported by air power, and maybe a training unit deep inside of Ukraine from the United States to help reform and rebuild their military and make their defense industrial base as robust as it can. Then you need maritime fleet in the Black Sea to make certain that there's no advantage being taken by Russia in the Black Sea as well. That is good security guarantees to make certain that Russia doesn't fulfill its much-stated promise to topple and take Ukraine. That's just an example of some of the challenges. Now, how would Putin respond to that when the Ukrainians would maybe likely agree to something I just said? Putin would look at that and probably come right back and say, no foreign troops whatsoever in Ukraine. How do we know that? Because he said it time and time again. Would he be willing to make a concession, at least for a few years while President Trump is in power? Maybe that's a fact. But just to give you some sense of the challenges here, and if Zelensky is going to give up territory, he has to take that to his people. He has to assume his people are going to support it. He doesn't want them to not support it, and certainly put him at risk politically. There are real serious issues here. I applaud the administration for their perseverance and steadfastness in the continue to work this in front of all these obstacles that are there.
Well, they seem to be, the administration, putting out words of optimism that they can get there and get over across the finish line. Matt Whitaker, the U.S. ambassador to NATO, saying that right now there is optimism that they can do this. It is a matter of when and how. General, thank you very much. Good to have you on the program today.
Yeah, great talking to you. Thank you.
John?
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.